And then there's Leroy Smith. Now, you guys think that's a myth. Leroy Smith was a guy, when I got cut, he made the team on the varsity team. And he's here tonight. He's still the same 6'7" guy. He's not any bigger. His game is about the same. But he started the whole process with me because when he made the team and I didn't, I wanted to prove not just to Leroy Smith, not just to myself, but to the coach who actually picked Leroy over me. I wanted to make sure you understood you made a mistake, dude. And then there's Buzz Peterson, my roommate. Now, when I first met Buzz, all I heard about was this kid from Asheville, North Carolina, who's a player of the year. I'm thinking, well, he ain't never played against me yet. So how did he become player of the year? Is that some type of media, exposure? I came from Wilmington. We had two channels, channel ABC and channel 7, channel NBC. That was it. I never saw NBA sports at all when I grew up. You didn't have CBS affiliation in North Carolina, in Wilmington. So Buzz Peterson became a dot on my board. And when I got the chance to meet Buzz Peterson on the basketball court or in person, Buzz was a great person. It wasn't a fault of his. It was just my competitive nature. I didn't think he could beat me or he was better than me as a basketball player. And he became my roommate. And from that point on, he became a focal point, not knowingly. He didn't know it. But he did. And Coach Smith, the day that he was on the Sports Illustrated and he named 4 starters and he didn't name me, that burned me up.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? This your boy Tone with the People's Perspective Podcast. And just want to give you guys a little motivation this morning. Yesterday I spoke about Michael Jordan and what type of person he was and some of the character flaws I didn't like about him. But I just want to show everybody how you can be diplomatic and everything is not personal. You can speak on a person's ups and downs, pros and cons about them and still like them. I do like Mike, his competitiveness. That's why I played the clip in the beginning. That was his Hall of Fame speech. And Jordan basically, during his Hall of Fame speech, he just was basically talking about how his siblings, his father, his mother, everybody made him a competitor. They pushed him to be competitive. So the part that you heard, he was talking about, a guy when he got to college, and they chose him to play it over him, and Mike was so competitive that he wanted to prove that they wasn't better than him. And just saying that to say, it's people that got to the NBA and wanted to just get to the NBA and they wanted to be a great player, but they didn't have the drive. They didn't have the discipline. You think anybody who wants to play ball, let me take that back. It is some people who just want the money. They just want to be in the NBA. But for the most part, most of them want to be the best. And as you can see, this dude wanted to be the best, and he showed you. To be a basketball player, go to baseball, then come from baseball back to basketball, to the conditioning he had to take and endure for all of that, man, that's just unbelievable. Then when he got injured, he still wanted to play. He still wanted to play, man. You got guys, man, sitting out for sore thumbs and you know what I'm saying? they pulled a hamstring or pulled a muscle, they gonna sit out. Man, this man playing with the flu. He playing with broken ankles and you know what I'm saying? He's still coming to play, man. Like, that just showed you how much he loved the game. But just saying that to say, some of us need to adopt. Just don't look and watch this documentary. We need to take something away from it and look in our lives and see what, are we doing the best that we can? Because during this COVID-19 pandemic, sitting in the house eating chips and just watching TV all day, you have to come out of this pandemic with something. Because, especially for those who not working, you're not going to get this time back. So watching that, even when I was talking to my uncle, that put a spark under me. That put a spark under him. Like, you can't watch that and say, man, this dude proved that anything could be done. Anything could be done. And people always got some type of excuse, and especially us as a black people, we always got some type of excuse. A lot of us that are here, every time they fail, we want to blame it on our history or what happened to us or how we was oppressed. This man he kept it moving. He ain't mentioned none of that. He just kept it moving. He was just stayed competitive, but he persevered. And that's the difference. That's why a LeBron or none of them could be better than him, because he didn't settle well with losing. He was an ultra competitor. It's not a lot of people that have that mentality. I think the last person that had that mentality was Kobe Bryant. But just saying that to say, what if you take that into your life? Like, think about it. If you take that mentality he had in your life, what could you do better? Just think about that for a second. Just pay attention to, if you take that attitude he has, that he wanted to prove that he was no one better than him at all times. If you look, Magic Johnson even said the man wanted to beat you in cards. He wanted to beat you in cards. He wanted to beat you at anything. You couldn't. He didn't want you to have nothing over him. And we don't have to go that extreme, but just saying, what if you had that dedication or something? Like, we got to start dedicating our time to things that are important to us. Like he said, he did what he wanted to do. That's another thing. The man said, I went to play baseball because that's what I wanted to do. That's what my father told me I was doing the right thing. To me, that's freedom, man. I don't know what's freedom to most people, but freedom to me is being able to do what you want to do. And dude was actually basically free as far as living out his dream and doing what he wanted to do. To play basketball and then go play baseball. Come on, man. What's more freedom than that? And we walking around thinking we free and thinking that we this and that, but at the same time, a lot of us is not working to our full potential. And that goes for me. Like, I'm not just talking to y'all like I'm trying to tell y'all something that don't goes for me. That goes for me as well. I got to come out of something. Something got to come out of this for me. This podcast came out of this. It's other things that I'm doing that came out of this COVID-19, me sitting around. I can't come out of this and let this time be wasted like that. So that's just all that to say. What if you take that mentality he had? Think about it. What could you do better? That's a great mentality. Like I said, it's not about how he treated his teammates. Yeah, that's a different thing. I didn't like that. That's an abuse of power to me. But his mentality, he shouldn't have changed his mentality. He could definitely keep his mentality of winning and being number one, but how he push it and express it to other people, that's different. But as far as how he felt, yeah, I wish, man, you know how many people wish they had that? That's a gift. LeBron and them don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have it. When I go on the court, we're going to win, or I'm going to be the best. I'm going to do whatever it is I can be the best that I can be. If you heard his trainer, what he told his trainer after they lost to Orlando, and he realized he wasn't in basketball shape. He could have took off for the whole summer. The man said, no, I owe it to everybody to be the best. They playing for tickets. I owe it to them. People not doing that, man. The average person ain't. People going to sit on their ass. And you see why he's successful. You see why he's a billionaire. He worked his ass off. So that just shows you do get out of life what you put in it. So people got to stop walking around making excuses for what when they have an opportunity, they don't take advantage of it. Then when it don't turn out the way that they want to, they want to blame somebody else or blame society or blame the government or history for what they didn't do, that they didn't push hard enough. You think 70% is enough? If you still can go up, go up. This man was at over 99.9, 100% at all times. Some of us walking around here, we at 80% complaining, thinking we at the top of our game, thinking we doing the best we could, but we really not. A lot of us really not. Gotta stop blaming others, man. I'm looking at the news, looking at businesses complaining about they going out of business. They've been in business for 20, 30 years. How you going out of business? We only been down for a month or 3 months. And you've been in business for 20 years. Something ain't right. But when it's all said and done, guess who they gonna blame? They gonna blame the government. And that's the thing. And that's, we got to lose that mentality. People got to lose that mentality trying to blame somebody else for the decision. For 20 years, you didn't make a good decision. So you telling me 3 months that the government made a decision that forced you to go out of business? For 20 years, you didn't do something right, bro. Something you ain't do right. And that's what we got to, pay attention to. But that's just, it's just a motivation for me, for everybody. This is definitely an eye-opener. So, like I said, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Leave some comments down there. Leave some topics that you want me to speak about. Definitely coming at you with some more content. Thanks for everybody's support. And until next time, make sure you subscribe.